For the next 7 days, you will undergo a transformation that few dare to attempt. This is not about abandoning who you are, but about awakening every fiber of your being until the universe can no longer ignore your prosperous presence. Becoming financially unrecognizable is about transcending economic limitations, embracing a discipline so unshakable that even your reflection demands abundance. Each day you will refine your financial mind, your energetic body, and your prosperous spirit. You will walk with clarity about money, speak with precision about investments, and move with intention toward the wealth that is your divine right. People will sense your prosperity before you utter a single word about business. They won't know what changed in your financial energy, but they will feel the prosperous power in your silence, the certainty of abundance in your gaze, the divine firmness in your financial decisions. This is the beginning of sovereignty over your economic life, the awakening of the financial giant that has always slumbered within you. The prosperity you are about to unleash is not about greed. It is about divine purpose. It's not about hoarding out of fear, but about flowing in abundance. It's not about competing with others, but about aligning with the universal laws of wealth that have governed since the dawn of time. Secret 1. Financial discipline as a divine foundation. All genuine financial transformation begins with sacred order. To become truly prosperous in 7 days, you must first conquer the most basic yet most powerful force in the universe, your discipline with money as divine energy. Without it, no wealth endures. With it, all doors of abundance open. Financial discipline is not self-imposed punishment or denial of life. It is divine precision. It is the sacred ability to save when others spend impulsively, to invest when others hesitate in fear, to command your financial focus when the world offers 1,000 temptations of unnecessary consumption. Prosperous discipline is like breathing to the lungs, natural, essential, vital. When you master it, it becomes an integral part of who you are, not a constant struggle. It is the rhythm of the prosperous heart beating in sync with universal abundance. From this sacred day forward, your mornings will no longer belong to the financial chaos that haunts most people. They will belong to crystal clear clarity about your divine wealth goals. Your nights will no longer slip into the energetic waste that drains your prosperous strength. They will conclude with deliberate financial planning and meditation on abundance. Your words about money will no longer stumble on the doubt that erodes faith in prosperity. They will cut through the air with divine certainty, carrying the authority of someone who knows their worth and their prosperous destiny. Every conversation about finances will become a declaration of your economic sovereignty. In 7 days of relentless discipline, your financial habits will be carved into the stone of your prosperous character. This is not about adding complexity to your life. It is about subtracting everything that weakens your ability to generate wealth. Keep only what strengthens your prosperity, only what sharpens your financial intelligence. When you remain in financial discipline, your presence changes completely. People will see it in the way you move through the world of business, hear it in the way you speak about investments. You won't need to explain your prosperity. The results will speak for you with divine eloquence. The practical exercises for financial discipline. During these 7 transformative days, implement sacred rituals that will cement your financial discipline as an unshakable rock. Morning of prosperous clarity. Wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual. Dedicate this sacred time exclusively to financial planning. Review your wealth goals, visualize your investments growing, meditate on abundance flowing toward you. Energetic spending assessment. Before any purchase, pause consciously for 10 seconds. Ask yourself, does this decision bring me closer to or further from my prosperous goals? Allow only spending aligned with your vision of abundance to pass this sacred barrier. Nightly ritual of prosperous gratitude. Before bed, write down 3 intelligent financial decisions you made during the day and 3 wealth opportunities you are grateful for. This practice programs your subconscious mind to recognize abundance constantly. Secret 2. The abundance mindset as a mental fortress. True financial power begins in the prosperous mind. To become unrecognizably wealthy, you must forge your thoughts into unbreakable financial steel. The mind is both a weapon and a shield in the battle for the wealth that is your divine right. Those who master their thoughts about money cannot be broken by scarcity or limitation. The prosperous mind is an impenetrable fortress where thoughts of abundance reign supreme, and thoughts of scarcity are banished forever. It is a sacred sanctuary where visions of wealth grow and multiply, where financial strategies are born in contemplative silence long before they are seen in the world of business. Each day you must cultivate inner financial clarity with the dedication of a monk devoted to prayer. Train yourself to think strategically about money with the coolness of a general planning victory, with the calm that comes from divine certainty and the unwavering conviction that springs from the source of universal abundance. When you awaken to a new prosperous day, do not rush into action without direction. First, command your thoughts about prosperity. Organize your financial mind. Align your energy with the frequencies of wealth. This mental preparation is the sacred ritual that separates the truly prosperous from the eternally needy. Visualize your financial goals not as distant dreams floating in clouds of impossibility, but as inevitable realities, as destinies already written in the stars, patiently waiting for you to claim what is already yours by divine right. See yourself not as someone seeking wealth, but as someone allowing abundance to flow through you. Sharpen your focus by cutting away all financial distractions that fragment your prosperous energy. Eliminate conversations about scarcity. Sever relationships that drain your faith in abundance. Distance yourself from environments that feed a poverty mindset. Allow only what fuels your financial ascent, only what strengthens your belief in prosperity, only what elevates your vibration of abundance to remain in your sacred field of attention. Guard your prosperous mental space with the same vigilance as a guardian protects the gates of a temple. Do not allow gossip about financial crises, economic chaos, or doubts about your wealth potential to invade your mind. Instead, cultivate an inner stillness so profound that when you act financially, your actions carry the weight of divine certainty. Techniques for prosperous mental reprogramming. Strategic abundance affirmations. Create 5 powerful personal statements about your future financial reality and repeat them with absolute conviction 3 times a day. Example: my financial intelligence attracts golden opportunities daily. Cinematic wealth visualization. Dedicate 15 minutes daily to visualizing your prosperous life in cinematic detail. See yourself negotiating with confidence, making brilliant investment decisions, enjoying the fruits of your abundance. Journal of prosperous victories. Record daily 3 pieces of evidence that your abundance mindset is manifesting in reality. This could be an opportunity that arose, a smart financial decision, or a moment of clarity about investments. Secret 3. The body as a sacred temple of prosperity. A financial mind sharp as a diamond is nothing without a disciplined and energized body to carry your prosperous will through the physical world of business. To become financially unrecognizable in 7 days, you must begin shaping your body into a temple of prosperity, not for empty vanity, but for magnetic presence, emotional resilience, and energetic command. Your physical body is the first prosperous message you deliver to the world before a single word about wealth escapes your lips. It is the divine business card that announces your arrival in any business environment. It is the physical manifestation of your inner discipline, the external mirror of your mental organization, the tangible proof that you govern yourself before governing your wealth. True financial strength is not just about muscles built in a gym. It is a prosperous posture that communicates silent authority. It is abundant energy flowing through every deliberate gesture. It is the magnetic presence carried in the way you enter a boardroom, how you greet business partners, how you position yourself during important negotiations. When your body reflects unbreakable discipline, the business world sees immediate proof of your financial mastery. Your posture speaks of prosperous determination. Your energy communicates abundance. Your movements declare sovereignty over yourself, and by extension, over your ability to generate wealth. Your physical preparation doesn't need to be grandiose or ostentatious. It needs to be as consistent as the sunrise. 7 days of relentless focus on conscious movement, intentional breathing, and posture that reflects inner power. It will begin to carve away hesitation and forge prosperous confidence in every fiber of your being. Stand taller, not out of arrogance, but out of divine dignity. Move with calculated precision, not affectation, but energy economy. Breathe deeply, not out of anxiety, but to center power. Eat with nourishing purpose, not indulgence that drains your vitality, but intelligence that fuels your prosperous strength. Rest like a king restoring strength to command his kingdom, not like a slave collapsing from exhaustion after a directionless day. Prosperous physical transformation protocol. Financial sovereignty posture. Every hour, for 30 seconds, practice the perfect prosperous posture. Shoulders back, spine straight, chin parallel to the ground, deep and controlled breathing. This is your physical anchor of power. Command walk. Practice walking as if each step declares your prosperous authority. Deliberate steps, controlled rhythm, a presence that occupies space with dignity. 10 minutes daily of this practice will transform your energy. Abundance breathing. 3 times a day, practice conscious breathing. 4 counts inhaling prosperity. 4 counts holding clarity. 4 counts exhaling limitations. 4 counts in magnetic stillness. Mikirskir's Secret 4, the magnetic power of financial silence. If the prosperous mind is your financial fortress and the body is your energetic weapon, then strategic silence about your investments and achievements is your most powerful hidden dagger. Invisible to ordinary eyes, but lethal in its effectiveness. In 7 days of transformation, one of the most profound changes you can implement is mastering the divine art of saying less about your wealth and observing infinitely more opportunities revealed in silence. True financial power is rarely loud or ostentatious. It is silent like the deep current of a river, deliberate like the movement of stars, calculated like the strategy of a master chess player. When you speak too much about your financial gains, you prematurely reveal your strategic thoughts, your emotional reactions, your economic vulnerabilities that can be exploited by competitors or the envious. But when you observe the financial market with eagle eyes, you learn the secret rhythm of successful investments, the hidden patterns of economic behavior that escape most people's perception, the unspoken motives that move great fortunes. This silent observation transforms you into the supreme strategist of every financial interaction, the one who knows more than they reveal, who plays the long game while others exhaust themselves in the noise of temporary conquests. Practice magnetic financial presence. When you enter a business environment, don't rush to dominate with words about your monetary successes. Instead, dominate with a prosperous presence that speaks louder than any speech. Your strategic silence about your investments will compel others to fill the conversational void, revealing their intentions, limitations, and opportunities while you conserve your prosperous energy for moments of maximum impact. Techniques for strategic silent observation. Financial energy mapping. In business meetings, observe body language when money is mentioned. Who leans forward? Who pulls back? Who avoids eye contact? These are valuable insights for your strategies. Magnetic listening. Practice listening, not only to words about investments, but to the emotions behind them. Fear in the voice reveals opportunities. Insecurity in gestures shows negotiation points. Overconfidence indicates potential risks. Calculated silence. When asked about your financial gains, respond with a mysterious smile and redirect the conversation. What really matters is the future we're building. This technique keeps your power intact. Secret. 5. Emotional mastery over the waves of money. The most decisive financial battlefield is not found in volatile markets, central bank boardrooms, or the violent clash of global currencies. It is fought daily within the heart and mind of every person seeking genuine prosperity. To become financially unrecognizable in 7 transformative days, you must conquer absolute control over your emotional reactions related to money. Financial emotional mastery is not the cold suppression of natural feelings or the robotic denial of human reactions. It is conscious command, elegant mastery. It is the divine ability to feel explosive gains and devastating losses without being governed or swept away by either emotional extreme that destroys fortunes. Anger over temporary investment losses, paralyzing fear of risking capital, corrosive doubt about golden opportunities, reckless desire to spend impulsively to impress others. These are not invincible enemies of your prosperity. They are raw emotional forces that, like wildfire, can either destroy entire forests or warm homes and forge precious metals. The emotionally weak are consumed by the flames of their own uncontrolled reactions, turning to ashes of lost opportunities and wasted fortunes. But the emotionally strong channel these same powerful energies, shaping them into concentrated financial power, laser-sharp strategic clarity, and unbreakable resolve that moves mountains of economic obstacles. Imagine the magnetic, prosperous presence you project when absolutely nothing can shake your grounded investment decisions. When venomous criticism about your money cannot wound your prosperous heart. When global economic chaos cannot sway your faith in personal abundance. When temporary financial losses cannot break your long-term vision. Financial emotional alchemy. Transforming anger into determination. When you feel anger over a financial loss, channel that energy into deeper research about opportunities. Transformed anger becomes fuel for smarter decisions. Fear as a wise advisor. Use fear not as a paralyzer, but as a prudent counselor. When fear arises before an investment, use it to ask smarter questions, not to avoid legitimate opportunities. Doubt as a strategy sharpener. When doubts about opportunities arise, use them to refine your analysis. Healthy doubt perfects your decisions. Paralyzing doubt destroys them. Secret 6. Magnetic influence and irresistible prosperous presence. Once you have sharpened your financial mind like a samurai's blade, disciplined your prosperous body like a sacred temple, and mastered your emotions about money like a Zen master, the next crucial dimension is developing genuine financial influence. This is the divine ability to shape the economic world around you through the pure magnetic gravity of your authentic, prosperous presence. True financial influence is not calculated manipulation, empty persuasion about fanciful investments, or psychological tricks to convince others about dubious opportunities. It is the natural and inevitable byproduct of inner financial mastery, radiating outward like sunlight, warming everything it touches, like gravity naturally drawing objects into its orbit of prosperity. Authentic, prosperous presence is not loud performance, desperate displays of wealth, or anxious seeking of financial validation from others who may be even more economically lost. It is calm energy that resonates silent power, confident decision-making that projects certainty about the financial future, deliberate movement that communicates clear, prosperous purpose. To cultivate this irresistible, prosperous magnetism, start by consciously controlling the financial energy you project in every environment. When you enter a bank, investment office, business meeting, or any money-related space, enter as if you naturally belong in that prosperous universe. Your entrance should communicate not empty arrogance, but genuine dignity. Not fabricated superiority, but earned confidence. Financial influence grows exponentially not through constant talk about your monetary gains, but through consistently being the person who speaks about money when it truly matters financially. Sir, developing the prosperous aura. Entry presence. Practice entering environments as if you were expected and welcomed. Not arrogantly, but with the natural confidence of someone who belongs in prosperous spaces. Subtle conversational command. Develop the skill of directing financial conversations through intelligent questions rather than self-promoting statements. How do you see this investment trend is more powerful than "I made X in the market"? Listening. Magnetism. Become the person others seek to share their financial concerns with. Your attentive silence creates a magnetic field where people feel compelled to open up. Secret 7. divine strategy, and the eternal game of wealth. Magnetic prosperous presence commands immediate attention and instant respect, but divine financial strategy sustains economic power through decades and builds prosperous legacies that span generations. The universal fortune eternally favors those who are financially prepared with long-term vision, and genuine prosperous preparation is nothing more than divine financial strategy made visible through consistent actions. A person without a wealth strategy may rise financially for a brilliant moment, experiencing temporary success that impresses superficial observers. But they will inevitably fall as soon as the unpredictable winds of the global economy shift direction. A person with a deeply rooted prosperous strategy bends the universal fortune to their divine will. Living strategically with money means extracting yourself completely from the destructive chaos of impulsive financial reaction and deliberately entering the crystal-clear clarity of conscious, prosperous design. Every financial choice you make consciously, from the specific investments you choose to the precise words you speak about money, either systematically builds your empire of abundance or imperceptibly weakens it brick by brick. In these 7 transformative days, you must relentlessly sharpen the divine habit of financial foresight. When faced with any investment-related decision, don't just ask what feels emotionally right in this present moment. Ask strategically, where will this choice position me financially in a week, a month, a year of prosperous progression? Prosperous strategy does not seek illusory shortcuts that promise instant wealth without corresponding effort. It is about perfect alignment with the greater vision of abundance you carry as sacred fire in your heart. Architecture of prosperous vision. Financial goal mapping. Create a visual map of your financial goals for 1, 5, and 10 years. Each goal must be specific, measurable, and aligned with your greater vision of prosperity. Scenario planning. For every major financial decision, develop 3 scenarios: optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic. Prepare action strategies for each possibility. Strategic review system. Dedicate 1 hour per week to reviewing your financial strategies, adjusting goals as needed, and celebrating progress achieved. Secret 8. The prosperous legacy and the divine art of being financially unforgettable. All genuine financial power eventually converges on a transcendent final truth: eternal prosperous legacy. Becoming financially unrecognizable in 7 days is not just about shocking those around you with your sudden transformation. It is about consciously initiating the creation of something infinitely greater than your individual existence, a permanent, prosperous impact that will continue to influence the economic world long after your physical voice has fallen silent forever. Genuine, prosperous legacy transcends the limits of individual life and touches eternity. Through multiplied influence. A solid financial reputation, once established through consistent actions and measurable results, precedes you magnetically wherever you go in the business world. It enters the boardroom before your physical body crosses the threshold. It lingers resonating in people's minds long after your voice about investments has fallen silent. Authentic, prosperous legacy is not built solely on accumulated wealth in isolation, nor on financial conquests, stacked like trophies on a dusty shelf. True legacy is about the indelible impression you etch into the minds and hearts of others through the strength of your prosperous character. Begin immediately with impeccable financial reputation, for prosperous reputation is the invisible armor of lasting economic influence. When you promise to make a specific investment, keep your word religiously. When you set a financial standard for yourself, uphold it inflexibly, even when no one is watching. A financially consistent person becomes naturally unforgettable because they stand as a solid rock in a world where economic inconsistency is the sad norm. Building the prosperous legacy. Financial integrity protocol. Establish unbreakable personal standards for all your financial transactions. Never compromise your word about money, even in minor situations. Prosperous mentorship. Identify someone who can benefit from your financial transformation journey. Share knowledge and be a living example of prosperity in action. Journey documentation. Keep a record of your financial transformation. This documentation will serve both for your own reflection and as inspiration for others. Secret 9: Prosperous Sovereignty and the Divine Inner Throne. The definitive step before the culmination of your financial transformation is absolute prosperous sovereignty, the sacred throne within your own being that no external force can ever touch or topple. Genuine financial sovereignty does not mean arrogant isolation from others or superior disdain for those still struggling economically. It means you become your own magnetic financial axis, your own unshakable prosperous foundation, your own inexhaustible source of economic validation that does not depend on external approval. Imagine the unshakable presence of a prosperous person who does not crumble emotionally when financial approval is denied by others, who does not bow when challenged by adverse circumstances, who does not betray their core prosperous values in exchange for temporary applause. That is prosperous sovereignty in its purest manifestation. To achieve lasting financial sovereignty, begin immediately by removing the invisible chains of destructive economic comparison. Most people willingly surrender their financial power because they constantly measure their prosperous progress against the illusory shadows of other investors. The genuine financial sovereign understands that their only real competition is their past self. Their only valid measure of prosperous progress is the distance traveled since their journey began. Prosperous sovereignty also requires that you become your own primary source of financial direction. Do not passively drift on the economic maps others hand you for convenience or control. Rituals of financial sovereignty. Daily declaration of independence. Each morning, verbally declare your financial sovereignty. I am the absolute sovereign of my prosperity. My financial decisions reflect my inner wisdom. Inner decision. Tribunal. Before major financial decisions, conduct a mental tribunal where you are the judge, jury, and advocate of your own choices. This practice strengthens your ability to decide independently. Prosperous influence circle. Identify and cultivate relationships only with people who respect and support your financial sovereignty journey. Remove toxic influences that undermine your prosperous authority. Secret 10. The final and eternal transformation of divine prosperity. 7. Sacred days. That is literally all it takes to ignite a financial transformation so profound, so fundamental, so revolutionary that the entire world will no longer recognize the prosperous person you have fully become. You have sharpened your mind into an impenetrable financial fortress, disciplined your body into a temple of divine prosperity, mastered your emotions into a golden crown of inner wealth, built your strategic silence into a magnetic force of irresistible economic power, learned the transcendent art of prosperous presence that commands respect without demanding it, developed the divine skill of financial influence that attracts opportunities without desperately chasing them, cultivated the sacred patience of strategy that builds empires, forged the inner strength of sovereignty that makes you independent of external validation, and planted the eternal seeds of legacy that will continue growing long after you depart this physical existence. This is the final moment of prosperous revelation, the transcendent realization that you are no longer who you used to be financially, and you will never again be that economically limited person. Genuine prosperous transformation is not escapist fantasy or unattainable dream. It is a conscious choice repeated with surgical precision until it becomes permanent identity. In 7 transformative days, you do not merely change superficial financial habits. You fundamentally alter the entire trajectory of your prosperous existence. You stand taller financially, not just physically, but energetically. You think more sharply about investments and opportunities. You feel more deeply the currents of universal abundance, yet remain emotionally unshaken by temporary fluctuations. You walk into business environments, and the very air subtly reorganizes to accommodate your magnetic, prosperous presence. People pause conversations to observe your entrance. Conversations naturally gravitate toward your orbit of influence. Opportunities reveal themselves seemingly out of nowhere because your energy attracts prosperous synchronicities.